Tonight, police probe a suspected suicide in Choiseul. A concerned citizen calls for transparency in relation to an investigation of a police shooting of a secondary school student.
If the police are in error, then that has to come out. If the police are righteous about it, then that comes out, and we know what's going on.
And the Integrity Commission is once again under the microscope from a doubting politician. We have the details of these stories and more coming up.
This is the Hot 7 Nightly News with Lovelace and Amy Joseph.
Good night. It is Friday, the 31st of May, 2019. Welcome to the Hot 7 Nightly News. We're on Flow, channel 117, also being simulcast on Kiss FM 105.5 and 105.9. You can view on our website, www.caribbeanhottv.com, and on our free Caribbean Hot FM mobile app. I'm Lovely St. Amy Joseph. Thank you for joining us. Vincent Wilfred, also known as Cakes, is dead in what police are treating as a suspected suicide. His body was found hanging in bushes in Roblo, Choiseul. According to law enforcement officials, the discovery was made about 2 p.m. Friday. There are no further details at this time, but as soon as they come to hand, we will update this story. In other news, a concerned citizen says the recent police killing of a student has left a sour taste in his mouth. He calls on the officials to present transparency in the case, as many questions are still left unanswered. Taking the Royal St. Lucia Police Force to task, he says this is just the tip of the iceberg. Solange Alfred explains.
The death of 17-year-old Arnold Joseph of Barbono during an alleged confrontation with law enforcement on May 22nd has left many with questions they want answered. One concerned citizen, Marcus Day, says the lack of transparency in the case on the part of the police is worrying.
From what I could gather, the young man didn't have any association with any trouble, right? So that to me is problematic. Only in the media did I read that the person he was riding with was his school teacher and then a person of about the same age. From what I understand, what I heard, he hitched a ride. He picked up a ride to go with these people. Now, the thing about the chase in town and going the wrong way on the roads and stuff like that, I don't know anything about. So I don't have any. I know that somebody told me that after that incident, he had asked to be put down, and when he was put down, that's when some of the fire started, and he ran, and he got shot. And I'm actually curious, from what I heard, right? So from what I heard is he ran and he got shot. Did he get shot in the back? Do we know?
Police said that during an attempt to stop a suspicious vehicle, Joseph was fatally shot, while a second individual sustained a gunshot wound and a third was arrested without injury. Day says special consideration must be given in every occurrence involving a death by police.
I think every incident of a policeman discharging his firearm should be investigated. That's all. It's not because I don't trust the police. It's just it's good process to release to the community exactly what the situation is. And if the police are in error, then that has to come out. If the police are righteous about it, then that comes out, and we know what's going on. But something that really is problematic in the community is all this shri talk, and what's happening in this and that. And I think that, to be completely transparent about these issues.
Police indicated that one 9mm firearm was recovered during the incident. Moreover, Day says St. Lucia is simply not up to par with even the basics of solving a crime.
I'd like to know about the firearm. I'd like to know whether it was discharged. From the interactions on Facebook I've had, we apparently don't test for gunshot residue. I mean, if somebody in that car discharged a firearm, their hand is going to be covered with gunpowder residue. I mean, and it's not rocket science to test for that. Even if you don't use it as evidence, because we don't have an evidentiary base for that kind of stuff, right? That's a problem. Breathalyzers is another issue. We don't have the evidentiary base to introduce it to court. We still would know. We'd still know that kind of situation. So it's just, to me, I'm hoping that the police, the authorities, put this to an inquest and that it's investigated and resolved.
Investigations into the circumstances surrounding this incident are ongoing. Anyone with information regarding this matter is asked to contact the Major Crimes Unit at 456-3754. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Solange Alfred.
Thank you, Solange. With Friday the 31st of May being the deadline set by the Office of the Integrity Commission for people in public life to make a declaration of income, assets, and liabilities for the year ending the 31st of December each year, the Office of the Integrity Commissioner is once again being placed under the spotlight for all the wrong reasons. This time around, Castries South MP Dr. Ernest Hilaire is the one raising concerns. The MP was asked whether he had declared all his assets during a Thursday morning press conference, to which he stated that he did and that he had his slip as proof. Following his response, however, he went on to make his feelings clear.
Although I would remind you that the political leader has said it before, when he was written to by the Prime Minister on the composition of the Integrity Commission, he voiced his opposition to some of the members of the Integrity Commission. And I support the opposition of some persons being on the Integrity Commission. I believe the Integrity Commission must be beyond reproach, beyond question, and if there is any reason to believe some persons probably are not suited to be there, we have a right as the opposition, and I think the political leader did so, because this is a very serious matter, a very, very serious matter. And for sure we'll wait to see what happens and whether next week anybody will be arrested by the police for not meeting the requirement of submitting the Integrity Commission filing.
Dr. Hilaire's statement is just the latest in a string of voiced concerns. The sentiment is shared across the board, as was evident in a statement made by the UWP's Guy Joseph just over a week ago.
I can tell you that every time I file my assets, they found a reason to send it back. And I'm giving you an example. Not this present Integrity Commission, the previous Integrity Commission. No matter what I gave them, they were not satisfied. So I had a truck, an Isuzu Elf, 1988 model. So that would make the truck 30 years, 31 years today. At the time, it would have been about 27 years. The Isuzu L, for those who don't know, is the smallest dump trucks you get, a 1.5 ton. Truck was registered third party from the day that I bought it. I gave Integrity Commission all of the information. You know what they sent back to me? They sent back to me that I need to take this truck to a garage, do an evaluation, and bring the evaluation for them. Until I have done that, they will not accept that I have completed my Integrity Commission documents.
The former leader of the Lucian People's Movement, Farrell Prudent, is also on record calling the Office of Integrity Commissioner toothless and laughable. He called for the body to either be disbanded or reorganized. A recent sludge spill in the community of Beausejour at Wasco's treatment plant is said to be greatly affecting the residents of Phase 1. Complaining not only about the recent spill, the residents say the issue is compounded by the already dominant foul odor coming from the treatment plant. Solange Alfred reports.
A sludge spill in the community of Beausejour has reportedly had a negative effect on the residents of the community. One resident, Lancia Joseph, says the foul-smelling issue has forced them out of their home in order to get relief from the stinking odor.
Well, it's affecting us bad because when you see the smell come and the wind blow it, we cannot stay in our house. We have to close our window. That's getting us weak, so they have to do something about it too.
Clarifying, Joseph says the regular maintenance of the treatment plant usually is not so bothersome. However, the recent disturbance greatly affected many of the residents.
We never have it so strong. You understand? It was very, 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 very strong smell. I couldn't take it anymore. I had to leave the house and come and sit down by the shop there, come and take a little breeze and go back home.
Another resident, Thomas Francis, says the issue affects only a certain group of individuals and not the entire community.
Well, I only heard of this spill, right? I never saw it. But I hear people say about it affecting people. But whenever anything happens in the sewer, it seldom affects the persons on the side where I live. That is just above it. Because the wind is blowing towards the marina. So whenever there's a problem, the people from the first phase at Bossejon who get the effect of it.
Meanwhile, Joseph hopes the issue is rectified quickly to bring some normalcy back to the neighborhood. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Solange Alfred.
Leader of the opposition, Philip J. Pierre, is accusing the Alan Chasney-led administration of using the constituency development program to gain political traction. He says the government is gracing only their supporters with work and starving supporters of the opposition. Rochelle Gonzalez reports.
The United Workers' Party administration has been accused of using money to stay ahead of the political race by the opposition St. Lucia Labour Party. Leader of the opposition, Philip J. Pierre, said during a Thursday morning press conference that funds allocated towards the constituency development program are being used for the wrong purposes. The Castries East MP for over 20 years said he has not been offered one project under the CDP since the UWP's 2016 election victory.
I've not been offered one project. I've not been asked to recommend one project, nor have been asked to recommend any contractor. I see work in my constituency, and I can speak for the members of the opposition. I see work in my constituency all the time, but no one has contacted me, and I know that the foreign minister for Taiwan is in St. Lucia today, or he's coming tomorrow. I hope he knows that the constituency development program is being used as a tool for political retribution. I hope he knows that. And I hope he also knows that elected parliamentary representatives are not consulted on the use of the constituency development fund in their constituencies.
Pierre went on to say that whilst works are being carried out in his constituency, as well as the others won by SLP candidates, the work is being allocated to only a specific group.
Last week, or 2 weeks ago, I saw a number of people involved in cleaning in the bushing of the constituency. They were chosen in a school by political operatives of the United Workers' Party. They were called to the Boca school. Their names were taken by a political operative, and they were awarded contracts. I was never involved. I do not know what is the cost of the contracts. I do not know how the people were chosen. What I know is that political operative was the one who was doing the choosing, both in Bocage and Masha.
The opposition leader said he is constantly being questioned by his constituents about the confusion over contracts, questions which he said he cannot answer.
Work is happening in our constituencies all the time. Debushing, road clearing, and people come to us and ask us, why aren't they getting anything? And I do not know. I literally do not know.
Pierre said he is confident that come next general elections, the people will take their revenge. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I'm Rochelle Gonzalez.
This is the Hot 790 News. When we come back, Prime Ministers past and present are graded on performance by a former senator. A concerned citizen laments that on the road to development, the concerns of the poor and weak often fall on deaf ears. And more benefits are coming to mobile telephone customers in the Eastern Caribbean. Those stories and more when we return.